It's been a while since we've had to do this. We're back. It's been something like 20 days since my last live stream. Friends out there. Okay, well, here's... See, I could have guessed that this would happen because since I haven't live streamed in 20 days, I noticed that my subscriber count was halved, so I suspect the primers may be showing up. We're back with Warhammer Fantasy, The Adventures of Dirk and Ludger, Barrel Rider. What can I say?
That implies your brothers, though, doesn't it? By saying
no. Dirk is just his full name. He doesn't have a last name.
He does, in fact.
I do too.
Not to Ludger. It's Dirk Einbecker. All right, there you go, Spoon. There you go.
You're welcome.
All right. I gotta move the alerts up so that they actually show up on the screen. Because the way I'm doing this is super janky. I have a new YouTube channel starting up soon. I know that's kind of weird, but I wanted to separate my content. Do something a little different. It's going to be heavily edited stuff using my old Burning Will character, Count Ronald Swan. So keep an eye out on the channel for those announcements. In fact, they'll probably be going out at the same time this video is released. So
it's actually the first time I found out that Count Ronald Swan is actually a character of yours. I mean, like what I mean is like a role-playing game character rather than just a made-up.
Yeah, from Eric Vulgaris's Burning Will campaign.
Yeah, there you go.
He is a... So... I wanted to make a character whose only power was money. So he has the maximum amount of starting money that a character can have at the cost of being good at literally anything else. Just like how Nero was only good at firing a rifle at extremely long range and no other purpose. I like to make characters that are extreme and require other people to hold them up at the things they aren't good at because it's really funny to me.
You should definitely play Hero System. It's a completely broken system for janky stuff where you put all your points into one thing.
Like, yeah, I'd be a speedster and I'd just be like, all right, I freeze time and
yeah.
All right, I just punch you, but I punch you like millions of times before you're able to move.
Yeah, I put every single point of character creation into followers, and the entire population of the Earth are my followers.
Even you, actually, you're my follower now. Yeah, so, you know, keep an eye out for that. Spoon, what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Been some wild episodes of Solaris Knights this week.
Yeah, I made such a huge mistake. It was really bad.
Oh man, that was a good episode though. It was. I didn't think anything could top Hillbilly and I's fight, and then that happened. So that was really interesting.
We still got one more.
Yeah,
and then we've got the cast wrap up, and that's it. Solaris Knights will be on forever.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdest show I've ever run.
It was a lot of fun though. But yeah, just been working, busy. It's inventory week at work this week, so.
Is that like stock take?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of busy work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of so.
Before where it's like, okay, so we should have 2,178 B and C connectors. Please count them.
Yeah. So, but and like right now we are overstuffed with inventory for our size, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
This is a problem right now with supply chain. Is that suddenly all the goods are available, but the people to drive the trucks to move them around, so they're all getting into ports now, but they're not getting into stores because the COVID's knocked out so many people to actually move things around and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I flew into Melbourne Airport a few weeks ago, and it took like an hour to get my bag from the carousel because they only had a single air crew unloading planes, unloading the baggage. Yeah.
That's rough.
Okay, guys. So a slight problem occurred that's been occurring. Thought I had the problem under control. I didn't. So I've had to switch back to my raw microphone feed, and I don't know what that sounds like with the filters anymore because everything's been set up to go with the soundboard, but the soundboard keeps connecting and crashing. At this point, I don't know whether it's an electrical problem or whether it's the recent patch, because it started after the patch, but so did the electrical problems.
Aren't you an electrical engineer, Arthur?
I am.
Can't you determine?
Listen, there are two possibilities if it's an electrical problem, and I'm so apprehensive about solving it. Step one, the problem is the power supply in my PC is failing because I've inserted too many USB devices into it for so long. That worries me because I really don't want to get in there and have to pull all the cabling out and then have to remember to put it all back in, because if I fail to do it, or if anything goes wrong, what's going to happen is the next time I have a show, James is going to be like, "Aren't you an electrical engineer?" And I'll be like, "Well, fuck, I don't know. I guess I got to go turn my fucking degree in now." The other problem that it could be is I heard the fuse clicking in my uninterruptible power supply. And I think it happened when the PC tower was drawing too little power. Sorry, what'd you say?
Fuse or relay?
Yeah, relay. I just heard, the mechanical thing inside it clicking.
Yeah.
But then it hasn't clicked since then, after clicking several times over the course of several days. So I'm wondering if it's just blown itself out. And I need.
Do you know if it's a line interactive or a fully online UPS?
Geez. I don't know. I could go look at the Amazon.
It's all right.
Yeah, just glancing at it behind my PC right now, it doesn't say.
One of my mates this week, he's very much a person who likes to find ways to do things frugally as much as possible. So he worked out, for example, that when it comes to registering a car, if your car is over 30 years old in Australia, you can register it as a heritage car. So now he only buys 30-year-old cars so he can register as heritage plates, which costs like a fraction of the cost of regular plates. But I'm saying, but you're spending so much more servicing a 30-year-old car. But no, it's for him, it's all about the instant win. But this week he told me that he wanted a new gaming PC, but didn't want to buy a gaming PC. So instead what he worked out is that you can now get these external graphic cards or external graphic card boxes. You put you get a conventional graphics card, you put it inside this box, it plugs in via USB 3 and effectively works as an accelerated GPU for your device. So he's decided to attach his 2080 Ti via this box into his work laptop and use that for gaming now. And he sent me he sent me a picture of it all set up, hooked into two monitors, and he's saying, it works great. This is a game changer. And he had Skyrim on the screen. I'm like, dude, getting Skyrim to run on your work laptop is not a game changer. You could run Skyrim on a smart fridge. Not that exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It just popped again. Oh, but my microphone still kept working through the pop. Fascinating. So it's definitely not a microphone issue. The microphone is staying red throughout all of this, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's definitely not a microphone power issue. USB power is going through.
I mean, I noticed no variance in the sound from when we started to now, but I don't know what you're going through. Zoom.
But I'm hearing a pop, and you guys go silent for about half a second. There's no desktop audio at all. I don't know what's causing this shit. Computer's on it. Time to just get a new gaming PC and do a clean install. Oh my god, what a fear. Buying a new gaming PC at this point and then having to move all my settings over. It's almost as bad as my fear of swapping out the power supply and then having James roast me.
If it helps, I'll find a reason to roast you regardless. So
But that's listen. Most roastings are fine. It's the area of expertise I dedicated a quarter of my life to is the problem.
No, it's that emotional damage.
Yeah.
No.
Bad. Got anything else, Spoon?
Nope.
James, what do you got?
What have I got? It's been a while since it's like a few weeks since we last got together and played online. Actually, it's been according to the Foundry log, it's been 174 days since we last played this game. What have I been doing? I guess my big news in the last couple of weeks is we adopted a puppy into our house, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, who is currently quite precocious and puppy-like. So I've just given her a bone to keep her occupied for the next couple of hours while we play this. But otherwise, she might suddenly rush in later on and want to sit in my lap because that particular breed is known for being codependent. But no, it's been a good change for the house. I went and played some face-to-face Blood Bowl for the first time in probably 20 years, having been playing through the... unfortunately, because you might recall that I decided to play a league of Blood Bowl 2 on the computer to work out what team I was going to play. Mm-hmm. And the Dark Elves won that league, so I went and bought a Dark Elf team. Also, I actually had a Dark Elf team still in the box that I pulled out to build, only to discover that one of the sprues was defective. And so I contacted Games Workshop, and they're now sending me a replacement sprue, but it hadn't arrived before I played, so I ended up actually building and painting a Wood Elf team instead, which are horrible glass cannons. But I played 2 games this week and won both games, so it was good to sort of have a go at Blood Bowl again. I had a lot of fun trying to make bases that looked like AstroTurf, with like the paint lines on it as well. So that was a little fun modeling experience.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's it. I haven't really been doing any other gaming. It's just been busy trying to get the nurses game together again. I think it's happening in a couple of weeks' time again now. I've run 2 games of Blades in the Dark in the last few weeks. That game is still quite enjoyable. So that was just one of my groups. That was my Numenera group, and I thought I want to try something new. I'll look at one of the highly reviewed games right now, and Blades in the Dark seem to top a lot of review lists for current recent RPGs, and so tried it out, and it
Group 1 is moving to Blades in the Dark this Sunday. Sorry, next Sunday.
Oh, nice. Okay, like with the actual setting itself.
Yeah.
Or okay, yeah. Look, it's for the group in question. It's actually it really fits their style very well. I think it's a game my wife would quite like. She likes Victorian stuff. She likes leverage. She likes the heist show. She likes grim dark. I think that all these things would add together to appeal to her.
I'm shocked to hear that she likes grim dark.
Well, I mean, Cthulhu is her number one game. She likes that horror.
That's not what I mean, James, but
not jump scares or body horror. She likes existential dread.
She likes Brendan Lee Mulligan standing up and going, "Fire." 10 minutes in, everybody's going, "What is happening?"
I hope everyone's seen the D&D trailer this week as well. Honor Among Thieves.
Yep.
I have seen part of it. I really don't want to watch very much more because the part that I did watch, I went, all right, I don't want to spoil myself on any part of this. It looks okay.
I just
okay.
I just like the fact there's a scene in the trailer where apparently 2 people jump into a gelatinous cube to avoid a displacer beast. And it's got someone's done a meme with that where it's got the guys from Dodgeball saying it's a interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Oh man. Yeah. It it looks promising.
Look,
more
I
so.
was just surprised to hear that druid was a tiefling. I thought it was supposed to be like
a fawn or something.
Yeah, like satyr. And then my second thought was they're just gonna rip Keyleth's design off from the Legend of Vox Machina, They're like tiefling, and I'm like, this is the whitest tiefling I've ever heard of. But all right,
Yeah.
we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
And I mean, people are up in arms about that being a tiefling. I'm like, look, man, tieflings can have any level of demonic appearance whatsoever. They can.
Okay, Spoon. Okay, you're technically right, but
Yeah,
I'm pulling it out again. I'm pulling it out. All right.
Yeah.
There is one type of player who plays tieflings. I have never seen a tiefling that is not the following. They put their boots up on the table. They are incredibly gay. They are, the way D&D 5e describes it, they're like, tiefling are a grim, persecuted people looking to overcome their past. I've never seen a tiefling that was like, I'm a bard or a warlock, sex machine, LGBT, bro, what's up? Woo, magical. Tell me you've ever seen a fucking tiefling who's not exactly that in D&D. Whoever wrote the tiefling entry was like, all right, we're going so OSR. Wrong. Tiefling are holy warriors looking to over... And I'm like, no, bro. That's some boomer shit. No one plays like that.
Well, that's. I mentioned before, the nurse that's decided to play a lawful evil paladin in my game. She's playing a tiefling, and she's playing up the sort of she's playing the full vengeance paladin with the tiefling.
There you go.
So when you say no one, you mean no one that you know.
That's correct. 100% of tiefling characters that I've known.
And you're a hermit, so.
For 7 years, I was running something like 5 Pathfinder Society modules a week.
Online, right?
I may be a hermit, but I got to meet a lot of D&D players. Oh, hey, you guys meet a lot of fucking D&D players in your actual lives? You go to the fucking store and you're like, oh, hey, buddy, that salad bag right there seems like it's expired. Oh, I noticed you have a tattoo of a gelatinous cube on the back of your hand. Are you a D&D player? Are your tieflings gay? Is that a conversation you guys have pretty often?
Well, this is exactly how the nurses group started. Was my wife noticed one of her co-workers with a D20 sticker on her name tag.
I love that Arthur's like, this is a completely, farcical situation. James is like, actually, that's exactly what happened.
One time. You have a use case of one, okay?
I probably make it easy for myself by like wearing gaming shirts when I'm out and about. So you get the people with the half nod when they notice your D&D when they see your Warhammer or your D&D shirt.
I remember when that was a Pokemon Go, where people would be walking around with their phones out, but not like down, like, and you'd be like, yep, that's a Pokemon Go player right there. All right, James, you got anything else before we kick off this night of, I don't know, getting murdered again?
No, I think we can probably jump into it. We need long intros.
Well, let me just say this. Why is my character a priest but does not have access to the skill pray? Listen, that's just all I gotta know. Why?
You're an initiate. You got to learn the law before you can pray about it.
All right, I buy that. Well, I can't get blessings until I can use the skill pray, so I guess I better learn pray.
Priests of Sigmar are priests of action. They don't sit around. They don't sit around in a church praying. They're out there smiting heretics. And burning,
but if I want to turn your sword magical, mutants. I better learn how to fucking pray. Praise.
Pray is one of their available skills.
It is not activated on my sheet here.
So skills for priest are athletics, cool, endurance, intuition, law, theology, perception, pray, research.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Just in case I need it.
Yeah, because it's got the plus beside it, which means you can. Oh, okay. The reason it wasn't on your sheet is because it's an advanced skill, which means you can't roll it until you buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I still need to buy it, or do I already have it?
No, you need to spend 10 XP to take an advance in it, and then once you've taken the advance in it, you've then got the skill. So see on your sheet how next to pray it's got the little plus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you then take an advance in the skill. There you go. So now it'll be on. So you've taken one advance.
I can add these other skills. I just can't roll them
Until you've actually got at least 1 point into the advanced column, because they are advanced skills.
Because my Ludger barrel rider is a good lad who prays a lot. You may recall he accidentally called the Wrath of Sigmar down on a barkeep who was acting kind of ignorant.
I mean, look, I think that it's been a hot 5 months. We probably need a quick recap as well.
Sure, please.
So
Get to the part where we were inches away from being face down in some rainy mud, murdered.
Yeah, being found by our next pair of characters.
Actually, so I realized one thing that these two characters are missing is you both have the doomed trait. So for those that aren't familiar, it's typical that when a new child is born in the Empire, a priest of Moor will come by and will do a doom saying to determine exactly how that person is likely to die. And in this game, it translates to the skill or the trait doomed, where if you do happen to die in a way that clearly matches what the doomsayer said, you get to take half your character XP and apply it to the next character you build. So I have dug out from Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition the random doom generator, and I thought we should generate a doom for our two players, or for our two characters. Who would like to go first?
I mean, by all, go first.
All right, Arthur. The doomsayer speaks. Moore will send a maiden. That's your doom, apparently.
Or we'll send a maiden.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for Dirk, thy last exclamation is love.
Interesting.
Wow, that's so easy though. As you're getting murdered, all you gotta do is be like, love, and then you get half your fucking XP. Unreal.
Amazing.
It's cheating.
So why don't we start by quickly introducing the two characters? Why don't you go first, Spoon? Who is Dirk Einbecker?
So Dirk Einbecker is of the Einbecker family, who are talented beer makers. He is a soldier of a state regiment, swordsman, and is traveling to Altdorf, I think for like reassignment or something like that, or to find his new unit, and has paired up with this priest along the way.
Hold on.
Okay, we're holding pattern. Did you really click again or something?
Uh-oh.
That sounds good.
I think I made something considerably worse. Keep holding.
Is there a burning smell?
All right. Can you guys try saying something real quick?
Something real quick. So we can talk about Arthur. He can't hear us. I wonder if hey, chat, can you hear us?
Did anybody say anything back? No. Well, let's see.
Okay, sorry, audience. I'm still trying to figure this problem out.
Okay, cool. So
well, yeah, sound like can hear us.
So they can hear us, but Arthur can't.
It's me. I can't hear them.
Oh,
and we can hear Arthur.
Yeah. Well, this could be. It's like all my birthdays at once.
Yeah. So you didn't say in your intro, but who is your opponent in those Blood Bowl games?
Technical problem. You definitely happening.
Yep.
Oh, no. There he is.
All right, can you hear us, Arthur?
Okay. Can you guys say something?
Yep. Can you hear us? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we're actually playing Blood Bowl sevens, which is like the. Have you played sevens at all? Or
Not really.
it's the cut down format, smaller pitch, and I didn't realize until I read the rules for it that in the fluff of it, it's supposed to be like the amateur leagues for players trying to get drafted into the big leagues.
Gotcha.
So it's got a rule, for example, where as your players get better, they might get better to the point that they get drafted by a proper team and they just leave your team.
Like, yeah, I've got this great quarterback, and then he's like, and he's out.
Yeah, I just signed a contract with the Reichland Reavers, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear us? All right, yay.
The USB port that I plugged into was dead, which is really making me lean towards electrical problems within myself.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know what the audience heard out of that. I can see that the green bar was flashing, so maybe they heard everything. I didn't hear anything after your doom.
Okay.
Hey, Red.
Cool. So I just asked I asked Spoon to remind the audience of who exactly Dirk Einbecker is.
That was when I lost audio.
Yeah, which he did. He has done that. So perfect. Why don't you remind us a bit about who Lord Ludger
is a strong word. Ludger Barrel Rider is from a noble family, but as a 16-year-old initiate, he's a young man trying to find himself in the world, and he's come up with the Ludger method. You might remember this from the last time we played. The Ludger method is a way of seeking spiritual cleanliness through the physical cleanliness of your body and the space around you. It's also got a lot of like affirmation to it. He is I don't want to say he's incompetent, because that kind of implies like he's actively bad at things. He's just not rolled well. He's not built great. But that's fine, because we're not playing Warhammer Fantasy to have great characters. Otherwise, James would have started us at tier 4 and we'd be fighting Archaon. Instead, we're fighting weird mutant dudes in the rain, in the mud, in the middle of the night.
And nearly dying.
We were basically just like, oh, who's that warrior that was with us? We'll just let her handle everything while the two of us fight one guy in a corner.
Yeah, because she was fighting like alive. 3 of them at once, and the 2 of us were fighting one, and they still nearly killed us.
So Dirk and Ludger met at the horse and what's it called, the coach and horses.
Yep.
Coach and Horse Inn,
100 miles from Altdorf.
That's it. Yep, planning the journey into the capital. There was various rumors there. There was apparently a story about one of the princes of Altdorf seeking adventurers for some mission, but you were able to get passage on a coach heading towards Altdorf by way of I think he actually stopped along the road as well. Another the inn of the Seven Spokes. Sorry, yes. Mm-hmm. But once you left the second inn, yes, your caravan or your coach was accosted in the evening by a group of what you first thought was bandits. But then I believe it was actually Dirk who recognized one of the men as an old army buddy by the name of Rolf Hartzis, who had clearly had been subject to mutation, and the mutants were attacking the coach. And yes, it was a bravely fought fight in which many people nearly died, including our heroes. But once all was said and done, and we had prevailed, there was some interesting correspondence on the corpses.
That's right.
Yes, a letter from a lawyer named Lockstock and Barl in the town of Bogenhafen, indicating that they were looking for a man by the name of Baronet Leesbrung, who has to inherit his properties and wealth, and including with the letter a picture where the individual in question, who was among the corpses, is very has a definite passing similarity to Dirk. And to the point that anyone who doesn't know them well could easily mistake one for the other.
Now, how do we spell that name?
I will reshare with you the handout,
okay.
The letter of inheritance, and there was also an affidavit signed by a guild master and a priestess, witnessed by an advocate to attest to the drawing of the person that looks remarkably like Dirk. Look, I mean, if you know Dirk well, you know this guy well, you can see the differences, but to the point of describing them,
we're gonna Knight's Tale this thing.
Well, Ludger, his name may mean liar, but he is an initiate of Sigmar, so calm down, bro.
Well, we're at least going to look into it.
Are we though? Do we really
I think
care?
we should. I think we should.
I thought we were getting in the capital so we could go our separate ways and move on with our lives. But you know what? Can I ask if Dirk can sell Ludger on this in character?
Sure.
All right.
Is
it the next morning? Where's this happening at?
So you still got the rest of the ride through the night. You arrive in Outdorf in the morning, so you still got the rest of the ride through the night. So the two of you managed to negotiate your way into the carriage, along with the. I think actually the noblewoman left from. She took a different carriage, so it's probably just the two of you in the carriage that night.
That's good, so we can each sleep on one side.
Yeah, and
not that there's any sleeping,
people.
because if it's any carriage ride ever we've been in, it's
bumpy as all.
We're gonna be wishing they invented rubber suspension.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
So I think Dirk says this man was a noble of the empire, and if we should at the very least look into his affairs and his estate and make sure that things are taken care of. I understand by this document that this man was the last heir of the Lieberung family. So I feel as though we are required by honor to at least check it out.
All right, Ludger didn't really care about any of that until it became an issue of honor, and then he was activated, and he says, "Yeah, well, you might be right. If the Temple of Sigmar is a signer on this document, then I suppose that Sigmarite should be there to inform them that that he's dead. What they do with it, that's their own business. What we could really use is like a warm bath and someone to clean our clothes here. Feel like our body and minds are being polluted."
Well,
Did we want to talk about the horrifying mutations that we fought? I mean, I don't know about you, but that seemed very bad.
So I think Dirk makes the sign of the hammer.
Good. Ludger nods. He's like, yes, very well, my child.
Says it's been quite some time since I had seen Rolf. I'm not sure what he got into between when I last saw him in the regiment and now, but whatever it was, it wasn't good.
Yeah, he was down bad. You
Go ahead.
do you want to pray with me? I'm going to pray for cleanliness.
Very well.
You see things like that, it can do funny things to me. Do you have anything you want to confess before we...
My soul is pure.
No drinking too much, lusting after others, impropriety. Okay, all right, let's pray then. Ludger doesn't trust you, but that's because the Sigmar religious tenet number 1 is don't trust anybody ever.
Yeah. I mean, I literally have a talent called Pure Soul.
Pure Soul.
So.
Yeah, but Ludger doesn't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You can't be a priest without judging. All right, so are you happy that this conversation is resolved then?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
All right. So you finally get to sleep after. Is that door being closed for a reason?
There's so many doors moving right now.
You're not getting animals trapped inside the room, are you, Spook?
No.
I did see a cat hanging out against the wall.
Kitten is the kitten has closed the door on itself. So
Okay.
I will
Right.
give me 1 moment.
No
God,
worries.
that would be amazing if a moray could close.
Okay. This week I had to actually. I was at home working on my own with my family all out, and I decided to put a bed for the dog with her favorite toy right down on the floor in my study. And she came upstairs, grabbed the toy, took it downstairs, came upstairs, grabbed the bed, dragged it downstairs. When I went down there, she had dragged the bed onto the couch and was asleep on the bed on the couch with her favorite toy. So,
Gotta appreciate that level of dedication,
yeah. All right. So you finally get to sleep after the stress of the night, probably because of the stress of the night. And the good news is, by morning, when you're arriving on the outskirts of Altdorf, the rain has stopped. I can now bring up the Altdorf map.
I look out the window of the carriage,
Yep.
my arm resting against, the carriage door, and I say, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Excellent. We are finally in Altdorf.
Only I can see Altdorf. I just don't have a token on this scene.
Ah, that's a good point. Okay, we need to change that so that it doesn't require token vision. Is it lighting? Token vision. Is that better?
It's loading. It's happening. There we go.
There you go.
We're there.
There we go. Okay, there it is.
We're in.
Oh, good. All right. So look, I think that you've each been to Altdorf before, but the city never sort of fails to impress. It's certainly the biggest city you've ever been in, and in fact, that even though the carriage has reached the outskirts of the city, it's going to be still a few hours before you actually reach the point where you would actually get off. In the middle of town in Königsplatz. The carriage driver, points a few things out as you go past, points to the Cathedral of Sigmar, so points towards the Imperial Palace. And it's just, especially on the outskirts of town where it's mainly where the farmers live, it's just industry going the whole time. There's animals being moved around. There's an unusual air about the place, probably a little bit different from the last time you reached it. It's probably been a year's fresh of you. It's hard to place exactly what feels off, but there is just a vague aura or vague sense of wrongness about things in town today. Although whatever it is doesn't seem to be bothering the people going about their business. It's probably mid-morning by the time the carriage pulls up in Königsplatz, which is a large open mercantile area. Instantly the carriage is swarmed by people, valets, saying, "Oh, can I take your luggage? Stay at the the Cat and Whistle Inn, or best drinks in town, come with me, and various hawkers start trying to earn your business, or take you to their preferred inn. And pretty much every single street that leads off Königsplatz is filled with shops and inns and taverns, and all manner of mercantile environment.
I stopped to ask the coachman where he would suggest it.
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Look, you can get back to us with a name, or you don't even have to give us a name. We'll just show up somewhere. I just want to make sure that we're aware that we don't get touristed here. You know, we don't go to the people that run up to our carriage. We ask the people who live here.
Yeah.
I assume this guy travels through here quite often because of the way carriages work, but...
Yes. So he points towards one of the streets. That's the street of 100 taverns. Most of the places there are like it's not a dive. You know, other streets around here are a little bit more sort of red light district. But I don't have a particular tavern I stay. It comes out of who's got room, but I always get my my grub in Angelino's, which is about halfway down the street towards the river.
Angelino.
Yeah, best grub in Altdorf.
How surprisingly Italian sounding for a city. Must be one of those southern mountain.
Spoon. While you're gathering your stuff from the coach, like, and it's a crowd of people around. So you just sort of catch around the crowd when you notice probably about 30 meters from you in the crowd there's two men who they're clearly trying to catch your eye. They're not waving, but they're looking at you directly, and then when you look in their direction, one of them sort of like quite conspicuously, scratches behind his ear with his opposite hand, and then looks at you.
Okay. Do I have any sort of knowledge skill that would let me know what? I mean, obviously, it's some sort of like sign and countersign, I think.
No, I think what it is, this is my suspicion. Someone put out a hit on this Baron, and they've recognized you from the illegal wanted poster, and they're going, payday. That's my suspicion.
Let's see. I don't really have any. Would intuition apply to this?
I mean, you can give it a try, give it a roll, see what happens.
Okay. Nope.
Impressive. Failure.
Yeah, you're not sure. Like, you're sort of trying to work it through. I mean, the guy sort of does like a bit of a try to make it more obvious that he's trying to get your attention with this weird scratching of his ear. At this point in time, probably AP, you've noticed that Dirk is looking up in one direction, and you spotted this too.
Okay. I turn to Dirk and I say, something troubles you.
Those men seem to be trying to get my attention.
Shall we go over and speak with them?
What do these guys look like, James?
So they're wearing, when I say robes, I don't mean like priest robes. I mean more sort of just like the Hessian sort of single sackcloth that a peasant would wear. They don't look to be particularly well-to-do, or that they have just like the ropes that are tied as a waistband. They're not carrying weapons that you can see. They probably look to be in, from this distance, you'd say early 20s, maybe even late teens. There's just a couple of young guys. There's no familiar resemblance between the two of them. They just seem to be two different people just standing with each other, trying to get your attention by scratching their ear.
I'm going to tell you what's about to happen, Spoon.
Okay.
Ludger is going to adjust his Warhammer holy symbol. What he's seeing is two individuals in need of guidance who have singled themselves out as not having anything better to do, and thus in need of cleansing themselves.
They're in need of some application of the Ludger.
The Ludger method. Yeah, so he's gonna put a hand on your shoulder and say, "Let us go talk with them. It is clear that they are in need of guidance." Except I say it somewhat more Germanly because I forgot that Ludger. Let us go talk with them. They are in need of guidance. It's somewhat forceful pushing. Like, let's go. I need you to introduce me.
Okay. Once you sort of start making your way towards them, they look like a bit confused and a bit concerned. Like there's one last sort of like just, and then they look off in another direction, and you're still pushing your way through the crowd at this point. There's like a sudden wave of relief in their eyes, and they start quickly making their way towards the door of a building, away from you. Like they're not like running away, but they're certainly hurrying in that direction. At this point in time, a voice calls out to you through the crowd. It's like, Luddy? And you turn and you see a man who looks not unlike... picture up. There we go. Although not currently waving a bottle of beer in the air. But he is someone that actually that Ludger recognizes as... what's that family friend? He was more like he was a man who's done work for your family in the past. Last you heard, he was a riverboat captain. So what's your family's industry again?
Moving barrels downriver.
There you go. Yeah. So he's someone you knew in your youth. I'll give you the handout, which tells you a bit more about him. Handouts.
So he actively has a fish hanging off his arm right now.
He does, yes.
Okay.
You don't? He's probably
forget everything else, and I say, Yosef.
Yes. What brings you to the big city? You're setting out on your own finally.
Yeah. So I turn Dirk again. I'm like, no, over here, and I'm like, this is my friend Yosef Korchin. Yosef, what I've been getting up to is, the next step on my journey. You remember, you were there when the day that I discovered that I was one of Sigmar's chosen. You were there. We've known each other since I was just a young boy, and you've always been a relentless alcoholic. Have you redeemed yourself yet, my child? This guy's like twice my age, by the way, if not 3 times.
He will always wear a funny lad. He slaps you roughly on the shoulder. And who's your friend?
This is Dirk Einbecker. He's come here to join the regiment at Altdorf.
A soldier. Good man.
Of renown.
He gives you that friendly punch in the shoulder sort of thing,
Yeah. Does this guy look like a former, or maybe not even a former? Does he look like a soldier himself, or no?
More likely, probably a sailor. Like may have been Imperial Navy at some point. Hard to tell exactly, but he just has that. He has that air of he's seen some shit sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, is also quite friendly and has a fish attached to his armor.
I think you can tell that Ludger doesn't respect this guy. Not that Ludger's respected many people so far. You're about the only person he's fully given any level of respect to. But yeah, he definitely treats this guy as if he's lower than the average person.
Well, I mean, where are you going now? Would you like? Could I offer you a drink and a meal? Welcome you to Altdorf. I mean, look, city folk are strange folk, and we people from the provinces should stick together.
Perhaps tell me, There were some men who were watching my friend here and making strange gestures toward their ears. They dove into that facility over there. Do you know anything about that? Is that gang hand signs? Are they criminals? You know, the big city, you can never tell who's going to start to steal from you. These big urban environments.
I don't know of scratching your ear, you said.
It's like a tugging, perhaps?
I'll mimic the...
Okay. I mean, some people here are pretty weird. They say that there's rumors that the nobility of Outdorf have picked up the taint of chaos. Nothing surprises me about what happens in this town at the moment, but I don't know about any particular... Oh, I wonder if do they look like university types?
Did they look like that doesn't sound right.
They seemed
really,
a little
no.
poor to be university types.
Okay. There's been all sorts of strange goings on at the university. There's been demonologists, necromancers dabbling in things that are best left alone. Oh, it gives me the shivers. At this point, there's like a trumpet blares out, and a voice calls, all citizens make way for Emperor. Not the Emperor of Mankind. It's the Emperor. What's his Emperor? Something the third. I can't remember what the Emperor's name is. This one.
Is it Carl?
Carl Franz.
It's not.
Not Carl Franz. Yeah, is it?
No, it's Wilhelm the Third, I believe.
I don't know what time period we're playing in. I only know Warhammer Total War.
Oh no, it's Carl Franz the first. Yeah. Okay, so make way for Carl Franz. And yeah, like the crowd sort of like starts to part as there's like a procession of men on horses starting to move through the plots.
Shit, I tap my Warhammer and then I bow while praying.
Okay.
This guy is like the avatar of Sigmar on Earth, right?
That's the story. That's what the Sigmarites would have you believe.
Yeah. I am a Sigmarite, so that's the story I believe.
Okay, all right.
And that's a story I'm selling everybody around me. I'm taking names.
Yeah. So there's everyone respectfully moves aside as this procession enters the square, and it's probably about 30 knights on horseback, and then riding in the middle of their sort of entourage is the Emperor resplendent in his gilded armor atop a sable steed, equally barded in gold, sort of giving like the occasional. Sorry, no. In this case, it's just a black steed.
Yeah, just a horse. It's not Deathclaw.
Yeah, at this point, he occasionally sort of like waves to the crowd, and people, you're like, I love you, Carl. Just occasional. But yeah, within a few minutes, the procession has moved on, and things start to return to normal.
I'm gonna, because my boy said something, and I don't want to let him get away with it. I turn to Joseph, and I say, you told me a very interesting story a moment ago about university students, demonology, but before that you mentioned the nobility being tainted by chaos?
I mean, the nobles here are pretty mad. I've done work with your family. Your family, they're good, salty people, but the sort of stuff that goes on here. I mean, look, this is the third procession through the plots this week alone. I don't know why the Emperor is suddenly wanting to be so visible.
I square up against this dude and I look him firmly in the face. But, I'm 15 years old and this is a family friend I've known for a decade.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm still just like, it is good that you have reported these fears to, but should not speak of these things again. Lies and rumors are the tools of the enemy. Whether it is true or whether it is not true, neither of these things are your concern. World will turn as Sigmar wills it. Gonna make the Sigmar cross, which I assume isn't a cross, but
he does look a bit chastised. You know,
He should look chastised. This dude's literally like, "Ooh, the nobility are all crazy." I'm like, "Shut the hell up."
It is good to see the Emperor, though. That's,
I think give me
first.
perception rolls, please.
Sure.
Right. Can't wait for us to fail by like 40 points.
As long as it's impressive.
+0, just regular roll.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Look at that success from Spoon.
A 6.
Marvelous. Okay, no worries. So there's a lot of so what you both remember. There's a lot of sort of chit chat around the fact that the Emperor's rode through. Like a lot of people are sort of like, it's definitely odd that like in the past month or so he's definitely been more and more visible, just riding through town for no apparent reason. Spoon, with your great degree of success, people are sort of there were rumors among the crowd that the Emperor is actually sick and that he's using a body double just to assuage the fears of the small folk.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I grandstand. I'm a small town, not even a preacher yet. I'm an altar boy from the countryside. But over the, big city hubbub, I say, loudly invoking, I say, "Do we have nothing better to do than to gossip about Sigmar's incarnation on the earth? I am sure that we all have better things to do under the light of day."
Some people, I think there's a skill for this. There is definitely a skill for this.
We're gonna get beat up by a mob our first day out there.
So I will let you choose either your choice of charm, entertain, or intimidate.
I don't have I'll take intimidate.
You have entertain. It's an advanced skill.
Oh, it's an advanced skill? Oh, I'm actually better. Okay, I'll entertain.
Okay.
I don't know who I'm entertaining. Myself, but I'll take it. Alright, is there anything I can do to alter that? Is there like fate rerolls or anything like that?
We do have, there are
Fate 2, that's it. So it's because there's fate, fortune, and resolve.
Okay.
It's a different system. So let me quickly remind myself how it works again. Is fate 1, 2.
Did we heal, by the way? Because I still have 5.
Well, it's been a night, so.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so when you want to spend fate, reroll a failed test. So effectively, you have. So you reset your fortune. Your fortune should be equal to your fate score.
Okay.
Yep.
So is it fortune that I'm spending?
I think so.
Yes. So you're spending fortune. That's right.
So
fate is like your permanent score.
Yeah.
There you go.
Success. Okay, no worries. Yeah. So the crowd sort of like you make them. You do the classic priest thing and make them feel guilty.
Good.
And they people sort of go, yeah, he's right. We should move on. Probably someone does throw a cabbage your way, but they probably get dragged off by someone else for disrespecting the clergy.
Now, real quick, is this a fresh cabbage?
Yeah, people don't generally carry rotten cabbages around town. They probably.
Yeah, I scoop up the cabbage and I just rip a leaf off it and just start chewing because we haven't had breakfast yet.
Yeah.
Ludger is a very practical young man. And he offers it to Dirk if he wants to grab a few leaves before turning to Joseph and saying, "Sigmar provides, but I think we will take you up on that offer of breakfast. I'm just going to graze on the way there. What's good around here?"
Well, my favourite place is a tavern called the Boatman. It's at the far end of the the Street of 1,000 Taverns.
Have you heard of Angelinos?
Oh yeah, they sell foreign cuisine. I've heard it's good. I haven't really eaten there myself.
Sounds like a
Some sort
Tillian
of like
place.
some sort of flatbread with tomato on top.
Pizza, you're describing it. Listen, I'm not into that foreign cuisine. I may speak Bretonian, but I'm not one of them. So I say the boatman sounds fine.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. Come on, let's get going.
Always with the fresh fish on the front, eh?
Ah, well, you always want to be prepared.
For what?
You never know when you might need a fish.
I nod because this is a saying I've heard hundreds of times, and he's probably proved it to be true to me.
That's right. He'd rather have it not need it than need it not have it.
The fish goes bad, you throw it into the sea, and something else eats it. You need a fish and don't have it. What are you gonna do?
No, not have
Sea's
the
not
fish,
gonna
I
throw
guess.
one at you.
That's right. Cook a man a fish, keep him warm for the night. Set a man on fire, keep him warm for the rest of his life.
What the
Exactly.
fuck? That's not how that phrase goes.
All right. You start making your way down the street, and once again, it's all hustle and bustle, so you're sort of pushing your way through crowds as well.
Yeah, but are we getting like the local town musical with theatrical dancing on our way down, where people are singing about the local news while doing like pirouettes and tossing each other in dips, or are we Game of Thrones?
No, it's not that sort of town, unfortunately. It is
We'll
very
say
much
that for
like
the Slanesh village.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's more like the occasional stepping out of the way as someone throws their bucket of slop out the window, sort of thing, to avoid being hit by it. It's a grimy metropolitan city, basically. So I'm just how, because you guys know what your trappings are. How heavy are you packing? Like, do you carry bags? Is everything you own in knapsacks?
So I am unencumbered. So I imagine everything that Dirk has is in like a like a bag that he can like fit over his shoulder.
Okay,
I have
like
a
military
pouch
sack.
and a sling bag, so I basically own nothing.
Yeah.
I came here to Altdorf because I'm moving up to the next stage of my priest training, and they're gonna provide everything I need.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work out for you.
All right. So partway through the town, down the street, you sort of you pass like a side, not an alley, but just think about where like between two shops, there's like an alcove. Probably something where like rubbish ends up, sort of filling the alcove. But there's a man standing there in filthy rags, like it's obviously homeless. You can tell from his clothing that it looks like a preacher's robes that have just been have become threadbare and filthy, but you can make out the cut of like a street preacher basically in the robe. And as he sees you, he so is my voice going? I'm getting a net connection warning on Zoom.
Sounds good on my end. Yep.
Okay, cool. He suddenly like points at you and screams as his eyes roll up into his head, and he yells, "I see darkness gathering at the last house of Joy Falls. Beware, for shadows over Bogenhafen stir. Then beloved Moor, resplendent in vestments of green, stands astride Sigmar's great river. Ye, I see death on the Reich, and I despair. For then the stained hand guides the once mighty Lord, and the power behind the throne curses us all. Lo, the horned rat then claims the broken king atop his throne of lies, and the white walls fall, leaving our empire in ruins. Tremble in fear, ye mighty, for the end times have come." And then he collapses to the ground, convulsing with like frothy blood coming from his mouth.
I got about half of that.
Yep.
It seemed like there was some pretty potent color imagery in there. Listen, Ludger is a small town rural kid who's heard lots about what people are like in the big city. So he ignores this guy more or less.
Okay.
You know, he's heard that the people, everyone here is trying to rip you off or sell you on something. So this is not a spiritual epiphany for him. This is him straightforward New Yorking his way past the guy.
Okay. No
But
worries.
when he collapses, Ludger's slightly better nature kicks in, and he comes back to look over the guy.
Okay, no worries.
Shakes him, make sure he's okay.
Once you get to him, he seems to he's stopped convulsing, and he sits up, like wiping the froth from his mouth. And do you help him up, or you just say like he's going to get up?
I kneel down to him. I'm not going to help him up. But I'm just, you know, like squatting down and saying, "Are you okay?"
Oh, yes. I'm fine, thank you.
You do that often.
Ah, yes, it's a little show for the tourists and some coin. Did you like it? Was it good?
I turn to look at Dirk. I don't even know if Dirk stopped.
So Dirk has like Dirk did stop, but he's like standing a few steps like back from you. And goes, "It seemed to work on my friend here."
I mean, I'm coming over to make sure he's alive.
Sure.
Well, maybe a coin then, or buy me a pint.
I
if you
hand
like
him
the
the cabbage.
Yeah, well, this is. Thank you.
Could do worse than fresh food, my friend.
No, if it's what you have, it's what I'll take. Thank you.
Remember always that Sigmar is watching you, and those who speak lies will suffer greatly for it. Choose another way to entertain the tourist.
As you say, I guess.
I give him like a remorseless stare for just a little bit too long before getting up and moving.
Just until it gets awkward.
But just know, I've made a mental note of this person's location, and I'm gonna fucking rat his ass out, just like I'm gonna rat out that noble woman that we were with. I'm taking names down.
For what?
For her, she was part of the like the casual religion, but not really. Do you remember that? There was a whole sub storyline where she wasn't really faithful.
Mm-hmm.
She was just pretending to be. Yeah, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get all
it's
of them.
because it's fashionable.
Yeah, listen, we're here cleaning up in the name of Sigmar. All right. Oh my god, I remember when Amore was like this cat. That was when she was still cute and.
Isn't she still cute and?
I've been getting clawed for like the last.
Oh, don't worry. Amore is neither cute nor awesome, but she still gives the claws. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my headphone cord is in danger.
We keep making our way to the boatman.
Okay, no worries. You reach the boatman. So you sort of turn the corner of the street onto like one of the roads that runs alongside the Reich River. Or the River Reich, in fact. The boatman itself, actually, I can change to Tavern Sound.
Is this tabletop audio tavern sounds?
Yes, it is. The Slaughtered Ox from Tabletop Audio.
Tabletop audio. What a great website.
Yeah. It's a nice sort of looking. So it's one of those sort of bars that has like it's 2-story, but effectively the drinking area is open above. So effectively you've got like balconies around and then rooms around that. But then you've also got just like a nice open area, big fireplace in one corner, plenty of patrons sitting and drinking either at the bar or at tables. Joseph sort of quickly finds a table and encourages you to sit down.
Yeah, I sit with them.
All right, he orders food and a bottle of wine for each of you. and pays for it.
It's
Generous.
the morning, right? Just to be clear, it's the middle of the fucking morning.
Yeah, it's like 11 a.m.
Okay. All right. 11 a.m. drinking is a little bit better than like 6 a.m. drinking.
Okay.
Is it good wine?
I mean, you probably had a lot better. I mean, it's whatever. It's in Australia we call it house wine.
Yeah,
It's when you go to the bar and it's whatever wine they have on tap, so to speak. So
Is there like sacramental blessings in the Sigmar religion? Like,
sure.
All right, then I bless my bottle, and I turn to Dirk to see if he wants me to bless his as well.
Be my guest.
All right, I also bless his wine.
So now you're in Outdorf. What are your plans?
Well, the two of us had a rather tempestuous journey here. We made companionship along the way, as those who fight together in battle do. Honestly, it's not really worth talking about what happened on the way here, with one exception. We're looking for the law offices of Lockstock in Barrel. Have you heard of these people?
Let me see. It sounds like something he probably wouldn't have heard of, but let me see if he's got any relevant skills that might cover that. Probably not. Unless you're showing letter, probably not. He won't. Because there are addresses there, for example. But he doesn't know anything about them.
Yeah, I'll definitely show him the address for sure.
Okay, well, he points out that so they're
looking for directions.
They're in Bogenhafen.
Okay.
It's about 60 miles downriver.
Do they have an office here?
I don't know. You could check with the I don't know what the medieval yellow pages would be.
Town criers.
yeah.
It would probably be the postal service if it's somewhat medieval.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Check with probably the postal service.
The couriers would know where to go.
Yeah.
I just lost connection.
With that being said, I mean, I'm heading down river to transport some stuff to the Scharfenfest. I'll be going via Bogenhafen. If you have some days to spare and you need some coin, I'll happily pay you to work on the barge.
Sorry, my German's not that good. Scharfenfest means the Festival of Creation?
Yes.
Okay. At first I was like, the Sword Festival? Sick. Yeah, you know what, Jogan? We might take you up on that offer. I mean, the thing is that he's got business here, I've got business here. I'm not really sure if we're gonna be at leave, but just in case fate takes us that way, Sigma wills it. I would love to travel with you again. Obviously. So, what Ludger was about to say is that your ways could use some mending, but then he realizes he can wait to say that until they're already safely ensconced on the boat, and he can begin the preach. He just trails off.
He does reach into his like tunic and pulls out like a grotty handbill and puts on the table to show you, which I will post into the screen there.
It was Frugal Day.
So
good graph.
Yes. So for those of you who are watching at home, the note says the Council of Burghers of Bovenhafen announced the grand opening of the annual Scharfenfest will be held in the town meadow this middleful day. The fair will last for 3 days through the hours of daylight by gracious permission of His Grace Graf Wilhelm von Sappenheim and His Royal Highness Grand Duke Leopold of Midland. A grand joust will be held between the knights and squires of the two households. All this in addition to the usual attractions of our famous livestock market and the Reichland's greatest travelling fair.
Well, James, given the fact that you have all these handouts, I'm gonna say it's pretty probable we're heading that direction. Unless Warhammer Fantasy pre-gen modules have the greatest backstory in the entire fucking world to distract us of the fact that we're here in Altdorf.
What I can tell you, for example, this thing is, remember how there was like the Adventurers Wanted sign in the first year? If you actually follow that up, which I think these players are going to do, they basically get told, oh, someone else already filled that, someone else already did that, someone else already took that job and it's been done now. So it's probably because you're not really adventurers.
Yeah. We could not even defend ourselves against one guy.
But look, if you wanted to sign on to the crew, just for it'll take us a couple of days to reach sorry,
Bogenhofen.
No, so Wiesbrook first, and then it's about 4 days past Wiesbrook to Bogenhofen. So 6 days downriver. If you want to come back with me at the same time, I'll pay you 2 shillings a day each. And plus, obviously, you know, I'll make sure you're fed and have plenty of wine and ale on the barge.
What boat is this that we could find you in the port after, just in case our business here?
Of course, yes. My boat is called starts with B.
The River Serpent. It's very clearly a contraband smuggler ship. Drunken Eel.
Sorry, there's a lot of notes here.
The Hand of Calixus.
The Barabelli. Yeah.
I finish up my meal and I cork the wine or something and tuck it into my sling bag to take with me. I'm not gonna drink a whole bottle of wine for lunch.
I mean, this is lunch.
He ordered lunch too.
Yeah,
just an early lunch. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. I'm not gonna drink a whole bottle of wine.
All right.
My blessed wine.
I mean, there's probably like another half an hour of just general conversation where he asks about what you've been up to, and he also gets to know.
We got to report in, man. We're here to Altdorf it up, man.
Yep. But in any case, he says, "Well, I'm leaving. I'm setting off tomorrow morning. So, if you want to stay somewhere overnight, you can either stay here in the inn, or find somewhere else. And in the morning, we'll head off."
I look at Dirk because I know Dirk is getting transferred to his regiment here, and I'm pretty sure he's not going downriver with this guy. And I say, "We'll think about it." Thank you so much, Joseph. So great to catch up with you. The drinking will kill you.
A pleasure to meet you, Joseph. Thank you for lunch.
Not according to the doomsayers.
Find a priest of Sigma.
His doomsayers said a consequence of lust will end ye. There you go.
Yeah, it says lust for alcohol. Let's go get him. How many sins are just greed, but with a different form? It's all greed all the way down.
All right, well, he leaves you to your own devices then. It's now probably about midday.
All right. I reach out to shake his hand outside the bar.
It's in Joseph's?
No, Dirk's.
Dirk's.
Time for us to go our separate ways.
Should be
yeah, we should go to... So, what I say instead is, we should go speak with someone at a requisite law office so we can complete this. Just make sure someone's filled in. I look for a local courier or postal person that I can wave down to find central officer.
Okay, so you asking maybe you do eventually locate a postal worker effectively here. Yes, how can I help you, Lord?
We're looking for this location. I'll hold out the. Oh well, no, because
they're not here. This isn't their main office, yes, but we're looking to
for
get
their
in contact.
offices here in Altdorf if they have any.
Yes, look at it. Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I don't think they have an office here.
Very well.
All right. I can read and write, so I will, on the back of the letter that we've received, I write that we found the Baronet's heir dead. Here's...
Hold on. So
I'm gonna mail it through this courier right here.
Dirk has a letter, and he's not giving it up for you to write that on.
All right, so I tell him, I'm like, we should just write to them, give it to this courier. They'll take it to these people.
To Bogenhafen. This courier in Altdorf is going to journey down
put
the
it through
river
the mail
2 days.
service.
No, I don't think so.
Do you do that? Do you do the mail service? If we give you a letter outside someone's house, you'll carry it. This is like the United States, right?
neither wind nor.
You used to be able to go to
snow, nor rain, nor sleet shall keep me from my duties.
Buses was streetcars. They used to have U.S. mail postal drops on streetcars. You could just walk out to a streetcar, jog along with it for a little while, drop a letter in, and then you're done. It would go from one side of America to the other.
Yeah, I mean, so he could certainly facilitate getting this letter posted for you.
So I said yes, exactly. He can facilitate it. Yeah.
Insofar as when it will get there, it could be upwards of a week for it to, well, probably more than a week because it's 6 days.
A week, anyway, so. Excellent. Our postal service is so good in this country.
Your friend is going to Bogenhafen, though. Yes, the boatman.
If you want to send it with him, very well.
I think that would be. He's going to be there in a couple of days. Yes.
6 days. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's. I'll go. I'm going to go report into my superiors here and see what.
Okay. Hold up my hand to shake yours and say, "Well, Dirk Heinbacher, it's nice to meet you.
You as well.
Well, the purest soul I've ever met.
I wish you the best of luck in the development of your Ludger method."
I give him the Gwent
nod and
then I leave and I go to the, I want to say the Grand Cathedral, but that's not what it's called. The Holy Temple of Sigmar to report in.
Okay. So, Spring, where are you heading to?
I am going to, let's see, where would I guess I'm going to probably not the palace, but
there'd be like a garrison.
Yeah, I assume somewhere nearby that's like the Altdorf garrison.
Yeah. Okay. So effectively, it's like a barracks building, and then it's got extended sort of external pavilion tents for when they have like larger. There does seem to be a larger amount of military forces in town than you would expect. Like they've obviously brought in some provisional forces here as well. Probably one of the reasons why you're getting transferred in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's like a not a quartermaster, but like you find a sergeant basically who is clearly in charge here.
You salute him and he goes, "You don't salute me, I work for a living."
Private Dirk Einbecker reporting for duty.
Got some transfer papers there, Private?
He will fish them out of his bag.
Right. He has a read through. All right. He points you basically where you'll find a rack and where you can store your stuff, and then he tells you, get yourself settled. I'll find out what your assignment is and come and meet me in this office in half an hour. We'll go through what your assignment is.
Very well. Also, I don't know if you guys just heard that, but big storm starting outside my house. So if I lose power.
Yeah. Next. Listen, it's hardly the worst sound problem any of us have had this tonight.
All right, so you get your stuff stowed, get sorted out. You head back to meet the sergeant in his office. I've got your details here. You've been assigned to a military function. Sorry, you've been assigned to a group that is currently working with Prince Hergard von Tessentik of Ostland, who's currently who's normally residing in Outdorf, but has taken his assigned group and actually headed south for a period. So I don't have another duty assignment for you. So they were headed toward the Grey Mountains. I'm not sure when they're going to return. You may have to. I mean, you obviously you can pick up your weekly salary, but you'll have to be operating out of. You have to basically find something to busy yourself with until the prince returns.
I think I can handle that.
He signs the paperwork and hands it off to you, and gives you what you need to do to go and collect your wage, basically.
Yeah. All right.
So what do you want to do with yourself for that afternoon then?
I think Dirk is going to go collect his wage and then go back to the street of 100 taverns and go have some beer.
Okay. You're going to try Angelino's?
Sure. I'll make my way through several taverns, because the
catch a slice of pizza.
The Einbeckers are one of their main things for their family is their beer brewing.
Okay, so you need to sample the competition.
That's right.
Okay. Right, Ludger. So you're heading to the Temple of Sigmar.
Yeah, he's preparing himself spiritually for an event of epiphany.
All right. Yeah, so there's certainly you've never been in this temple before. You certainly went past it, when you've been in town as a younger man. But it is, the cathedral is very impressive. The sun always seems to fall on it nicely in Outdorf when it is sunny, which is not right now. Still grey and overcast from the rain last night. Oh, I should turn off the tavern music. Sorry, we're not in a tavern anymore. We're in the street. Okay. I suppose I should get temple music when I'm queued up. So you're met out the front by, there's like a couple of like the warrior priests of Sigmar stand guard outside the doors of the temple or the cathedral, basically. They recognize your trappings as a priest or as an initiate priest, and one of them sort of nods to you and makes a sign of a hammer. Welcome, initiate, to the Cathedral of Sigmar. I don't recognize your face.
I am Ludger Bellrider. I have been reassigned the Holy Temple of Sigmar.
Right, come in, and I will take you to see one of the lay priests that will be looking after you.
I didn't mention it, but he does, of course, also make the sign. This is his superior he's talking to. Pretty much everybody he talks to is going to be a superior. So he's treating everything very respectfully, keeping his eyes open, ears open, and just taking it all in now that he's been assigned to his dream job.
Okay. He takes you through the cathedral. Doesn't give you any sort of touring. Just sort of you left to yourself to look around and marvel. Takes you through the back into the what do you call it, the precepts, or the effectively
rectory?
Sorry,
The rectory.
Yeah.
That's where the priests live.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and eventually to an office of an older priest. Man stands up as you come in, and the warrior priest introduces you and leaves you with the other priest.
I give a slight bow and I make this.
Come in, my son. I am Father Altor. I am the Master of Initiates. Please, have a seat. And he sits down opposite you at the table.
I do so.
Is this your first time in Altdorf?
No, it is not my first time here, but it is my first time in this holy place.
How are your travels?
They were difficult. Along the way, I encountered Faithless, and we were beset by mutants. We nearly died in the process, and we have discovered some sort of dark conspiracy involving Dead Baron, but
So when you say we,
I traveled with a Dirk Einbecker, who is been assigned to the regiment of Altdorf.
oh, I see. And you said you encountered mutants on the road.
Yeah, I briefly describe, you know, our trials and travails while leaving out how poorly we performed. I don't know. I think Spoon might have lost power.
Is he frozen?
It's black to me.
Okay, I still see him, but you're right. He's completely frozen. I just thought he was very, very still.
Well, we got to do what we can, you know.
Yeah, that's it. I'll continue this bit until we need it, right? I must be honest with you, my son. Mutation has become worse in recent months. There is a shadow over Altdorf, and people have been somehow influenced by the forces of chaos. There is a darkness in this city. Many of us in the Sigmar's view see it. Yet it is insidious enough that we can't simply find it and destroy it. I must ask you to be as vigilant as you can be for any signs of chaos and corruption in the outdoor.
I've prepared for him using my writing kit, the name of the Countess and the location of the false priests. And I say, here are the results of my vigil. Non-believers and those who would cause others to walk us.
He makes some notes of these and sort of puts them to one side to have, warrior priests investigate.
Is there like a huge fucking pile of?
I mean, so he doesn't say this, but you can pretty much glean like there's two types of problems here. There is like clearly rampant corruption in the nobility, and secondly there is just weird stuff going on at a street level as well. He puts it in the weird stuff going on a street level thing, and that stuff is more than likely to be investigated because although the nobility have a great ability to influence the city, they also are much harder for the church to deal with, so they have to be dealt with like on an individual basis more sort of delicately. Yeah. Tell me more about this. You mentioned something about a dead noble as well?
Yes. A Baronet Isborum? I closed the...
Yep, sorry.
I tell him the correct name, and I say, we found him, this heir, dead, attacked by the mutants. He bore a striking resemblance to my traveling companion, Dirk Einbecker. If I did not see both of them in person, I would have thought they were the same person. Ever since our arrival here, Dirk has gotten several unusual looks by locals as well. The Baronet, I'm sure news will reach him. The law offices that the man is dead. It sounds like Dirk wanted to handle it personally.
So where is this Dirk now?
I assume he is reporting to his regiment. City.
Perhaps there is some provenance in your involvement with him if he's been mistaken for this dead man you encountered in your travels.
Do you see Sigmar's grand design, where I do not?
Well, I see a design. potentially. Perhaps you could. Would you be able to reach out to this Dirk and bring him here, that we might interview him as well? Understand better about what forces may be at work?
Yeah, I believe he told me what regiment he was reporting to, so I could go over there and see him. I will do so right away if you wish.
I mean, take a moment to stow your belongings, but certainly we should jump on this matter while it's fresh. So
Okay, Spin says he's on his way back, so we don't have to end here at the midpoint. Okay, yeah, I find whatever my initiate cubby in the rectory is and figure out where my bunk is, and then I immediately go to find the regiment of Prince Hiergard von Frick of Tissentessen or whatever. Look, I'm trying to keep up with the words you're saying, but...
Tessening. Yeah. So you are also given, like probably 4 or 5 tomes that are the next stage in your study as well to review. Sort of like, it's a lot of the way that you'll be trained as an initiate is less sort of like these are your class hours, and more sort of like this is what you have to do. Do this in your own time and come back once this thing is complete.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very much about self-improvement. Trying to think what we need to do. Can we just chat until Spoon gets back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Not in a rush.
How's the audience? How's everything going, audience?
Yeah, audience, how are you?
You enjoying some whiff rip?
Is Brad still here? It was so hot today. I was sweating just sitting in the sun. That's bad. I hate that. Just want to give a shout out to Lawson in the audience, who's almost certainly playing Fake Grand Order while watching 3 other people.
Is he in the audience? I didn't see him post in chat.
Is he? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can look at the list of people.
Oh, look at your
It's
cows.
not correct though. Twitch's chat has not been correct for like 6 years.
Okay.
It's been a long time since it was actually accurate, but this is Age of Sigmar though, right? We're playing a module, right? So
the module is this is the Enemy Within campaign, Book 1, Enemy in Shadows, Chapter 3, The Heart of an Empire.
we're on the 3rd chapter with only 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, we make great time.
I mean, Chapter 1 was meeting at the tavern. Chapter 2 was the encounter on the road.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So good at filling out chat.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, I go search for my good friend Dirk.
All right. Who is back now? You're okay, Spoon? Power flickered?
Yeah, power flickered a couple times, and now it seems like we're back, unless something else happens.
Sounds like someone else needs UPS.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So, Dirk, you've settled in. You're sort of working out your. So, Pretty Hunter Prime. It's on Arthur's YouTube channel.
I'll get the.
Yeah. You're settling in. When someone comes to you in the garrison, tells you that there's a priest initiate by the name of Barrel Rider.
Barrel Rider.
Yes, who is here to see you.
It seems our paths will be crossed once again. He's at the garrison, you say?
Yes.
I think Dirk kind of looks a little forlornly at the beers he was drinking, and then we'll go with this other soldier back to the garrison.
Okay. So by the time you guys meet up, it's probably about like 4 or 5 in the afternoon when you are reunited, friends, allies.
Your presence is requested by Father Altdor.
In what regard, or not in what regard? For what purpose?
I start moving. It's, you know, like
I don't think Dirk follows you.
a religious authority has told you that your presence is requested. Ludger goes for like a couple steps and then turns and sees you're not following and says, "Your presence is requested."
For what purpose?
I don't ask what purpose. I bring you when the priests say, "Come."
So you don't know then?
I don't know.
I'd like to insight check my friend here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not lying.
Well, that's fine.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Wow, imagine missing by one.
Dirk narrows his eyes as he thinks you're lying to him, but then goes, "Very well, lead on."
He's mildly concerned.
As we walk, I explain to him what little I do know, which is that I reported on our happenings, and the priest requested you for an unknown quest.
All of the happenings then.
Look, if I was a good player character, I would cover all of the things that happened
Yeah,
while you
yeah.
were gone about, the priests are worried and that. But Ludger, as a priest, would not tell you that the priests are worried because that would be unpriestly. So I don't think he will tell you that the priests are worried and that bad things are happening.
Okay.
You should just have faith in Sigmar and all of the other human gods.
I mean, yeah, he does, but the church is a labyrinthian organization that has goals and
Wow,
know.
that's so far above our non-conversation where we aren't talking while we're walking.
All right, you head back to the cathedral, and you're taken through to see Father Aldor. He welcomes you in as you come in. Ah, you must be Mr. Einbecker, yes?
That is correct. You can call me Dirk, please, Father.
Said Dirk. So, Ludger here told me that you've encountered some unusual things in your journeys, including a man whose face you share.
We share a similar likeness, yes.
And this incident happened after an encounter with mutant bandits.
Yes. Yeah, after we had dispatched these ruffians along the road, we found his body. I assume ambushed by the same group.
Yeah. I'm assuming, by the way, AP, that you told them about like the lawyer and that sort of stuff and the letter that you had.
Yeah, I gave him the full report of everything that
Okay. All right.
the father. Yes.
Yes. Tell me, to whom are you assigned in the army?
I've been assigned to a regiment serving under Prince Tessentik, who I've been told has taken his men or his forces south, and I've been given a leave of absence, as it were.
This is all very interesting. So, I understand the prince is headed to the Grey Mountain, which
Correct.
is beyond Bogenhafen to the southwest. And this lawyer is in Bogenhafen, and I was wondering. Well, I will give you a letter I would like you to take to your garrison commander to free you temporarily into the service of the Church of Sigmar. I'd like you to escort this initiate here to Bogenhafen to inquire after the dead man's estate. There's something at work here, and I fear that it has the workings of chaos upon it.
I see.
And then once you've dealt whatever you find there, you can then join your prince who is, as I said, who's currently leading his forces in that same area.
Very well.
He turns to you, Arthur. Initiate, this is something that you can accomplish.
By Sigmar's will.
Good. All right. I will prepare a letter. I will need to find some way to transport you to Bogenhafen.
We actually know a boat captain that offered us 2 shillings a day each to transport to Bogenhafen tomorrow morning.
It definitely, like he has a definite side eye of like, this all seems far too convenient.
Yeah, I'm like,
But,
I'm suspicious too. I'm like, yeah, this is Sigmar's will, and I'm looking around like, Siege, where you at, bitch?
Very well then. Providence is indeed smiling upon us.
Perhaps.
So it would seem. I would like you to continue. I would like you to use the route that has fallen before you, but I will also send some additional assistance via road to meet you in Bogenhafen, so that you're not on your own, so to speak.
That seems wise.
I just nod.
Very good.
Okay. Say.
All right. Well, he stops to quickly write down like a letter to your garrison commander that he hands to you.
Dirk takes it and tucks it into his belt.
All right. Thank you for coming. And Ludger, please stay a moment.
Dirk stands up and is obviously dismissed and leaves.
Yeah.
All right, before you go, I say, Angelinos?
I'll meet you there.
You have no concerns of working with this man, Initiate?
It is a tenet of our faith that we are suspicious of everyone and all. I obviously do my duty and judge, and he has been more pure than many. I think strange things move around him, but he himself is a simple soldier. Good man.
Very well. I fear that something big is moving around the two of you, and we need to know what it is, because it could be a sign of something even larger. Be on your guard at all times, as you would be anyway, but very well. I will wish you well, and please report back to me once you learn something about the dead man and this estate.
Very well. Stand up. I do the Aquila or whatever we do here. The sign of the... I head on out. Let's go get dinner and get drunk. Please listen. Socially drunk. Socially. I'm a priest.
Reasonably sloshed.
I'm a priest. We don't get drunk. Get happy.
The bees keep me, and I keep the bees.
Okay, Battle Brothers.
All right, let's get a good chance to break for a 8-minute break.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna get a snack for myself right here. Everyone keeps talking about all this drinking, and I'm like, all right, we'll be back the second half soonish, I guess. 8 minutes, or Spoon's power cuts out. Who can really say what and where events happen?